am your host, Jon Stewart. Okay,
What is that actually happened? Of course it happened.
Oh, no, he didn't. Elon Musk, the billionaire tech tycoon, the so-called genius behind Tesla and SpaceX, just ignited a media supernova, and it all started with a single bizarre hand gesture caught on camera, in front of millions. It happened in a blink, but the ramifications? They're seismic. Picture it. A sea of red caps, an overcast Washington sky, and a lineup of political A-listers flanking the podium. Then, there he is, Elon Musk, billionaire provocateur, steps forward. Cameras zero in. He places his right hand over his chest, fingers awkwardly spread. For a heartbeat, it looks almost like a patriotic moment. And then, bam, he extends the same arm outward, angled and deliberate, his face unflinching. The crowd pauses. Confused murmurs ripple. Viewers at home hit replay. Was that what we think it was? Then Musk leans into the mic and says it.
This one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
It was subtle. Too subtle or not subtle at all? The internet didn't think so. Within minutes, #ElonSalute was trending worldwide. TikTok sleuths began dissecting the motion frame by frame. Instagram accounts posted side-by-side comparisons of historical images, and Musk's now infamous gesture. Twitter turned into a digital battlefield. And then, Jon Stewart entered the chat. Live on his nightly show, Stewart didn't mince words. He replayed the footage, slowed down, zoomed in. His eyebrows raised, a crooked smile forming.
okay. Charitably, I'm going to say that was just an awkward, my heart goes out to you gesture. Many of you might have done it like this. You know, even Taylor Swift has done that, my heart, but she almost never does the goes out to you. Like, just always stays with, but listen, it's.
Stewart wasn't outright accusing Musk of anything sinister. But make no mistake, he was slicing with surgical precision, his words barbed with skepticism. This, he said, is not a good look. And that was all it took. Elon Musk, who usually shrugs off criticism like a malfunctioning AI, didn't take it lightly. Within hours, he fired off a flurry of defensive tweets. Totally misinterpreted, he wrote. Gesture was meant to signify gratitude and unity, nothing more. Then, almost immediately, media lies again. Stewart should know better. Sad. But it wasn't just Stewart anymore. Late-night hosts piled on. Meme pages went nuclear. Internet comedians reenacted the salute on green screens, setting it to every possible soundtrack from Wagner to the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme. The gesture had gone viral and toxic. Behind closed doors, insiders say Musk was fuming. According to one anonymous Tesla board member, Elon was livid. He kept saying, "Why are they doing this to me? Why is Jon Stewart doing this to me?" He was pacing, yelling. He hates feeling misunderstood, and this got under his skin in a way we haven't seen since the submarine guy. But wait, was it really a misunderstanding? While some of Musk's defenders scrambled to justify the moment, he's just awkward in public. It's his Asperger's. People read too much into everything. Others in the tech and political space began distancing themselves. A scheduled joint SpaceX-NASA press conference was abruptly postponed. Rumors swirled that sponsors for Neuralink were getting cold feet. And Jon Stewart? He doubled down. On the next episode of his show, Stewart delivered a blistering, no-holds-barred segment titled A Billionaire's Tantrum. It opened with the viral clip and cut to a montage of Musk's defensive tweets set to circus music. Stewart stared into the camera and said, "I've seen Silicon Valley engineers explain away every odd behavior in the name of genius. But genius doesn't excuse optics. And optics matter when you've got 180 million followers and stand on stage next to the most polarizing president in history." He wasn't laughing anymore. Stewart's monologue went viral, igniting even more outrage and even more defenses. Celebrities began weighing in. Chrissy Teigen tweeted, "Okay, but why is Elon throwing a fit when Jon Stewart simply replayed his own clip?" Meanwhile, Joe Rogan, a longtime Musk confidant, issued a cryptic remark on his podcast. "People are way too sensitive. Elon's a weird dude. That's not news. But for Musk, the damage was done. The media blitz had painted him into a corner, and rather than take a beat, he spiraled. At a live Q&A for Tesla shareholders, Musk was visibly agitated. When a reporter brought up the salute, Elon interrupted, raising his voice. "I'm not going to apologize for something that got twisted by a comedian looking for clicks." The crowd went silent. Another source from inside Tesla's comms team told us there was a full-blown crisis meeting. He wanted us to release a statement attacking Stewart personally. PR begged him not to. He didn't care. Then came the final twist. An unaired outtake from the inauguration livestream surfaced, showing Elon moments before the controversial salute speaking with a nearby aide. In the clip, you can hear Elon ask, "You think people will get it if I do it like this?" The aide responds, "Maybe just keep it simple." Musk does the salute anyway. Cue full-blown media detonation. Jon Stewart shared the clip on social media with a single caption, "Yikes." And Musk? He vanished. For 72 hours, his accounts went dark. No tweets, no posts, no public appearances. Some speculated he'd retreated to his Texas compound. Others believed he was coordinating legal action. Then, out of nowhere, a new tweet appeared. "I've learned a lot from this. Context matters. I never intended to offend, but I clearly did. I respect Jon Stewart and hope to speak with him directly. Let's move forward." The internet was divided. Was this the apology, or was it damage control? Stewart, ever the straight shooter, responded the next night. "I accept the sentiment, Elon, but maybe next time let your heart speak louder than your hands." Cue the explosion. Social media detonated. Screenshots spread like wildfire. X, was ablaze. Was it a salute? Was it satire? Was it something darker? It didn't take long for digital detectives to start drawing comparisons to history's most chilling imagery.
You know, I actually do know what a dab is, okay? Just for the record. It's this, you know. I do. So, the most amusing thing was, a week ago when we swore people in, this congressman's son, we were doing the post. He was doing it. He wasn't doing a dab, by the way. It looked like he was sneezing.
I'm just going to be generous and say maybe that was Elon's attempt at dabbing on the haters. Stewart tilted his head, pantomimed the motion.
I'm just going to be generous and say maybe that was Elon's attempt at dabbing on the haters? By the way, do people still dab on haters? Was that a very old man? Okay.
Because with that one segment, Stewart did the unthinkable. He didn't just roast Musk for a bizarre gesture. He ripped open the curtain on Musk's increasingly awkward attempts at being cool. And in mocking the outdated dab, a meme long dead and buried, Stewart subtly reminded viewers that Musk's internet persona might be more out of touch than we thought. And then, the twist, no one saw coming. The Anti-Defamation League issued a public statement. It appears Mr. Musk made an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute, the ADL clarified. The internet wasn't satisfied, because whether or not it was meant to be offensive, the damage was already done. The gesture was now a meme, a movement, a moment. TikTokers recreated it, YouTubers parodied it. A Minecraft server even renamed its central hub Awkward Salute Station. Even Dogecoin pumped, because yes, Musk tweeted, "In fact, and it may surprise you, I, for one, happen to be, quite frankly, Doge curious." Wait, what? At this point, even Stewart looked exhausted. "What are we doing here, Elon?" he asked on air. "Are you throwing memes at the wall, hoping one will distract from the arm thing? So where does it go from here?" Musk could apologize. He could clarify. He could just say, "Oops." But if history tells us anything, Musk doesn't do apologies. He does escalation. And Jon Stewart, he ended his latest segment staring straight into the camera. "Elon," he said calmly, "if you're going to try to dab on the haters, maybe just don't sneeze on democracy while you're at it." Stewart, always the master of biting satire and subtle evisceration, didn't waste time. That night on his show, he rolled the footage, paused, replayed, zoomed in. "Remember when he tweeted 69 days after 420 again?" Stewart deadpanned. "Or when he named his kid XASH812 like a futuristic gamer tag? That's the man we're dealing with." The audience was howling, but the tone shifted when Stewart pivoted. "You know," he said, almost with a sigh, "even if we generously interpret that move as awkward enthusiasm, we still have to ask, why does it look so historically familiar? Because it does, and that's a problem." Jewish organizations were among the first to respond. Amy Spittelneck, CEO of the Jewish Council for Public Affairs, issued a stark warning. Musk is not just any public figure. As a billionaire tech mogul, his gestures, intentional or not, carry enormous weight. When someone in that position echoes even the faintest trace of dangerous symbols, it emboldens extremist groups. CNN's Aaron Burnett described the moment as striking and disturbingly ambiguous. Clips of the incident looped endlessly across cable news networks, each accompanied by scrolling tickers of condemnation, speculation, and outrage. Then came the defenses. Some tried to argue that Musk's self-diagnosed Asperger's explained the awkward public moment, but that narrative was immediately and forcefully shut down by members of the autistic community. Therapists and advocates alike clarified, being on the spectrum doesn't cause someone to replicate a gesture with heavy historical baggage. As the discourse boiled, politicians dove in with torches and gasoline. Democratic Congressman Jerry Nadler didn't mince words. Whether it was intentional or not, that motion was anti-Semitic, he declared on national television. Meanwhile, Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, queen of controversy herself, leapt to Musk's defense. "The media is spinning another nothing burger into a cultural catastrophe," she tweeted. "Typical." And Musk? He did what Musk always does. He went straight to Twitter. Or should we say X, because of course he renamed the platform. "Frankly, they need better dirty tricks," he tweeted. "The everyone is Hitler attack is so tired." He didn't mention Stewart by name. He didn't address the gesture directly. He just deflected. Classic Musk. But the memes didn't stop. Theories multiplied. Think pieces from every major outlet flooded the timeline. TikTokers choreographed dances mocking the motion. YouTubers uploaded hour-long dissections with titles like Elon's salute, glitch, or gaffe. Then Jon Stewart fired back. "Look," Stewart said on his next broadcast, "I'm not calling Elon evil. I'm calling him embarrassing. If this was supposed to be some kind of genius-level performance art, then congratulations. You've confused every living human on Earth." Sources say Trump himself was unimpressed by the salute moment. "Elon tried to steal the spotlight," a former aide said, "and Donald doesn't like competition." And still, Musk remained defiant. But while Musk played dodgeball with responsibility, something far more serious began to fester: real-world consequences. Advertisers quietly pulled campaigns from X. Tesla stocks dipped amid rising backlash. SpaceX's upcoming Mars announcement, overshadowed by the controversy. Behind closed doors, insiders say Musk is livid, pacing, ranting, demanding damage control. One source whispered that Elon had floated the idea of creating an AI-generated deepfake of himself, doing an actual salute, just to prove how easy it is to fake stuff nowadays. No one knows if he was joking. And amid the chaos, Stewart stands tall, witty, unshaken, and more relevant than ever. "This isn't just about one guy," Stewart concluded. "It's about what we tolerate, what we laugh off, and what we ignore. Symbols have weight, words have meaning, and billionaires aren't above either." Just a few short years ago, Elon Musk was flying high, literally and figuratively. SpaceX was launching rockets like fireworks, Tesla stock was soaring, and his transformation from Silicon Valley visionary to full-blown digital demigod felt unstoppable. But somewhere along the way, the jokes got meaner, the tweets got weirder, and the alliances, they got political, very political. Now Musk is in a precarious position. We're talking full-blown red alert crisis mode. He's tiptoeing through a minefield of political contradictions that could blow up not just his public image, but his entire empire. Once upon a time, Musk wasn't exactly Donald Trump's #1 fan. Back in the pre-2016 days, he threw shade. Subtle, snarky, self-assured. He questioned Trump's character, called out his leadership style. He even backed out of a White House advisory council when Trump pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord. That Elon? Gone. By 2024, the tides had turned, and fast. Their once icy relationship thawed into something that can only be described as a tech bro bromance with mega undertones. Musk praised Trump's alpha energy, called him a straight man during an unhinged 2025 interview, and posted a now notorious meme of them fist-bumping on Mars. The internet went nuclear, but behind the meme magic was a far more strategic move. By the end of Trump's 2024 campaign, Musk had funneled a jaw-dropping $277 million into Trump and his GOP allies. Through his ironically named America PAC, Musk positioned himself as a financial juggernaut of the new Republican elite. Forget Wall Street donors. Forget Koch brothers. Elon Musk had officially become the money behind the movement. That means unpredictable tweets, erratic decisions, meme-fueled policy takes, and deeply confusing attempts at humor that leave even his fans scratching their heads. Remember when he tanked Tesla stock with a single tweet about taking the company private? Or when he tried to settle international diplomacy with Dogecoin memes? Now imagine that energy injected directly into US politics. At the same time Musk was cozying up to Trump, he was also doubling down on his corporate entanglements with, wait for it, China. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory has become a lifeline for the company's global production. Musk's reliance on Beijing is no secret. He's praised Chinese engineers, posed for grinning selfies with government officials, and even made moves to increase investment in Chinese tech hubs. But Trump? He's been building his 2024 and 2025 campaigns on a relentless anti-China platform. He doesn't just criticize China, he demonizes it. Tariffs, sanctions, and rhetoric so fiery it practically smokes. So now we have Musk funding Trump's rise while simultaneously partnering with the very nation Trump wants to dismantle. Awkward? No. Catastrophic. The contradiction is glaring. For a man obsessed with efficiency, Musk seems blind to the mess he's made. Tesla needs China. Trump wants to punish China. And in the middle is Musk, trying to play both sides while keeping his Twitter feed spicy. And that's when Jon Stewart stepped in. Oh yes, this isn't just about politics or business. This is now deeply personal. Because Stewart, America's favorite political satirist, turned moral compass, saw the perfect storm and walked straight into it, with fire. On his show, Stewart didn't hold back. "You can't invest in China by day and fund Trump's tirades by night," he said. "That's not strategy. That's hypocrisy in a Tesla jacket." The segment went viral. Musk retaliated with a tweet storm. Vague, passive-aggressive, classic Musk. "Some people pretend to be moral while collecting checks from corporate media," he wrote. No names, but everyone knew. Stewart fired back with a single word: coward. Boom. And while the war of words raged, Musk's empire was quietly, devastatingly eroding. After pouring a staggering $277 million into Donald Trump's presidential comeback, Musk was handed a golden crown, the leadership of the newly minted Department of Government Efficiency. Its nickname? Doge. Yes, that Doge. Because of course Musk would name a federal agency after an internet meme. But what started as a bizarre branding stunt has now spiraled into one of the most controversial political appointments in modern American history. Critics are calling it unconstitutional. Whistleblowers are sounding alarms, and Musk's carefully curated empire is starting to look like it's built on sand. Even Jon Stewart, usually content with his nightly skewering of corrupt politicians, has entered the arena with fists flying.
It's not the only thing Donald Trump is busy disrupting these days. As you know, the Doge Project, the Department of Government Efficiency, headed up by the Nick Cannon of white people, Elon Musk, is in... It's in full effect, and it may surprise you. I, for one, happen to be, quite frankly, Doge curious. I'm actually somewhat Doge adjacent. So, Mr. President, if you would.
But here's the twist. Musk wasn't just posting memes. He was cutting checks, massive ones. And that money bought him power. As Doge Tsar, Musk slashed budgets with all the subtlety of a flamethrower. Entire agencies were gutted. Programs vanished overnight. The U.S. Agency for International Development? Gone. Housing assistance? Slashed, leaving 32,000 fewer vouchers and communities in chaos. And all of it, every abrupt decision, every shadowy executive order, came without congressional approval. Enter U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper, who recently ordered the release of internal Doge documents, citing unprecedented authority and unusual secrecy. And that's not even the half of it. Sources close to the White House claim Musk's internal Doge meetings are a mix of tech bro jargon, crypto slang, and outright disdain for democratic processes. One aide reportedly quit after being asked to gamify federal budget cuts. Another leaked a PowerPoint titled, "Defund boring stuff, invest in rocket launches." Meanwhile, across the pond, Musk's meddling didn't stop. He briefly entertained the idea of funding Reform UK, Nigel Farage's latest populist vessel. But true to Musk form, that alliance also collapsed in spectacular fashion, sabotaged by internal feuds and policy disagreements before it could even launch. So where does this end? Will Musk be forced to resign? Will Doge be dismantled? Will Jon Stewart become the voice of a new anti-billionaire resistance? One thing is clear. The battle lines have been drawn. Elon Musk wanted to streamline government. Instead, he's ignited a political inferno, alienated allies, and found himself in a one-man war against the Constitution, Congress, and cable comedy hosts. And Jon Stewart, he's not just punching up, he's punching through. In the end, what began as a meme-fueled power grab has spiraled into a full-scale political disaster. Elon Musk tried to reinvent government in his own image, and instead he may have triggered his own undoing. As Jon Stewart delivers blow after blow, and both parties distance themselves, one thing is certain. The empire Musk, built on innovation and irony, is now teetering on the edge of collapse.